Alright, here's my raw rig. It's mine. This is more of a slot machine or casual mobile game kind of art style. I found the art off of a clip art website and cut it up in Photoshop into pieces. All the pieces lined up over here, so it's a collection of parts for this character, and it's a collection of parts for the background symbol, the highlight, the shadows, and the parts for the FX for the sun. Here it is in motion. And here it is back on the effects. First, starting off, let's show off the part I'm most excited to show. This is the 3D head effect. I went to a interview last month and was demonstrated by this awesome spine animator how to get this effect on 2D characters. I'd already explored this effect with my Diva rig on my portfolio, but this one is a much better effect with a bone here controlling part of the geometry and working counter to the main 3D pointer controller. It also has some control in the neck as well, so we can get that full 3D range of motion. Also new to my list is physics bones. So whenever his head moves around, the physics in the Egyptian headdress will also rotate around as well. Moving down, we got this basic amulet, and you got a control which allows it to move and rotate independently. So that way, when I'm rotating it, it doesn't interfere with the local translation of the highlight. Next up, a new feature is for using an IK for a bicep flex. So whenever I move an arm, bicep will also interact with it, or that arm moves just at the upper arm or the forearm. On top of this, I also have a IK for the tricep. Just turn this on so to display it. Show how that works. So we have a bone over here, points down, points here to part where it controls the bicep. Whenever a bicep or when a tricep is flexing, it's normally being pulled like this way. So with this pointer in place, arm moves up, and these set bones make sure that the tricep folds backward, counter to the bicep flexing. Next up, we got hand with the staff. Not too interesting, but the actually interesting part is a shine effect. No, that's the bottom one. It's two shines that are masked off, so that way they only show up on the staff. And here is here's how the machine generally looks. It's just it's a solid white with a gradient falling on out. Next up, another prominent feature for this rig is another IK with forearm. So whenever I move this around, also controls these bones over here, which will follow it around. And I have this little correction bone here to make sure that this highlight on the bottom tricep always meets this here. It doesn't require a direct constraint, as it's very good just staying in place in relation to it. All it needs is just some small adjustment. I'm very happy with how this effect looks. Also, controls these bones here for the obliques as well. I also have the sun root, pretty much like like with the amulet. The effects for the sun have two different layers of controllers, so that way I can both rotate and translate without the rotation getting in the way of the translation. Seeing how the sun interacts with the symbol here, which will lead to what I'd like to show next, the background. This one required, I think, 2 layers of masking to make sure that this character stays behind mostly. This bicep doesn't really interact with the mask all that much because I intended to just be static most of the time. But what isn't static is the shadow and the overlay, which is, this dark purple area and this yellow area. Overlay is to, as in the animation, follow along with the sun here. So it's all rigged up. You can move it around, you can scale it. If the sun gets a lot brighter, there it goes. Or when the sun gets darker, I can take the shadow and make his little his Egyptian wall cabinet here a bit darker. Or I can make it totally dark. Just getting rid of this. It's time to go to sleep, Birdman. Also have 2 borders, just the regular border and this border on top of it for glow effects. When it's turned off here, but when the sun pops out, you can notice the brown here turns a lot more orange, and the yellow becomes way more saturated. It is blended on, so doesn't require much animation. Just need to adjust the alpha and the colors on it. I also have controls here on the outside, on the wall. Wall. This is mostly for if I wanted to animate the wall itself, to just turn that off, or suggests like a change perspective, kind of like that. But the effect didn't end up getting used, as the real actors for the background are just the shadows and highlight here. There's how the rest of the bird rig moves. Oh. Actually, going on to the next effect are the bones that control the inner and outer perimeter of the right side of the torso. An effect I wanted to work on with this is whenever the arm moves back, there's a little bit of like a faux 3D effect with rotation of the torso also poking out as the shoulder pulls back on the arm. So you have the inner torso parts and the outer torso outline being folded into each other as this arm gets pulled in. It's a subtle effect, but it's one I think works well with this, so it doesn't look like I'm just pulling the bone around over, space like an old Flash cartoon. And finally, I'd like to show. Well, first off, here's all the constraints used in this project. Mostly used for the arm controls for both these arms, and the 3D head effect. And next up, I'd like to introduce the final feature of this animation, which is nope, that's the mask. The background effects. I got 3 layers, standard, translate, and rotate over each other, and a pinch, because each of these sunbursts has has a mesh to them, which the pinch controls by pulling them in. Turn on whites here. Strong is in the center, and towards the outside it diminishes, but there's still a little bit of influence over here, so that way whenever the effect gets pulled, let's turn these off to show. Sunburst 3 onto Sunburst 3, the pinch. It creates an uneven shrinking effect as opposed to a whole hog shrink down effect. So thanks to this unevenness, whenever I shrink down, it creates a little bit of chaos, a little bit of randomness in how it appears when it's being edited. Also, rotate and translate controls there so that way neither of these interfere with each other. And yeah, that's a basic breakdown how this goes. I'm going to move a few more parts around just to show off and show how this works. And that'll be it. And that's the rig.